So you decided to postpone it and not to cancel it.
Correct. I think because we've invested a lot of time and money into this, and we still would like to have it there. Um, Having said that, some of our vendors, we weren't allowed to get a refund or anything from them, so that was something else that we couldn't, we couldn't get anything back. So we just said, we're going to go forward. Some people have been thinking about doing getting their license prior to the wedding and then getting married with this religious or garden wedding or winery wedding, come in the future. So I think those are great options. Italy is a beautiful place. I wouldn't suggest completely canceling your wedding.
Besides, it's just like a pause, actually. So you don't love cancel. You don't cancel love, actually. You don't love cancel.
No, but
You don't cancel
it's hard for a lot of brides who have everything, to have their dress, have their invitations, have everything ready to go. And then that one thing that they need to do is just to fly and travel. So.
Yeah, I know. So, the type of ceremony that you were supposed to have here in Italy was a religious ceremony.
Correct. It was
to have your wedding in the
church
church.
wedding. Mm-hmm.
And now you are planning to...
in Tuscany, but seaside Tuscany and Livorno.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was as an option, it also could be that you still have maybe your civil wedding there in the United States with maybe close friends and family, and then you can still organize your party here in Italy once you are allowed to come here. That could be another option for the people who were waiting for this moment.
Yes.
Of course.
So as of now, yeah, the religious portion of the wedding is still set, perhaps maybe next year. But the civil wedding, getting your license sort of thing will be happening here in California prior to going to Italy.
Okay. So, are you still planning? Are you your wedding? What are the things you're doing right now, actually, for your wedding?
See, like every other bride, they're probably online shopping. This is a good time to honestly take time to look at details, maybe accessories for the wedding, maybe and do other inspirations that you might still want for the wedding. So there's an umbrella about to flop over, and I mean it's a good time to take self-care, take care of yourself, work out, clean eating. I've been baking a whole lot, and a lot of my followers and family and friends have noticed that I've been baking, and it's been good. I've been looking at new recipes, so I think just de-stressing by taking care of yourself, maybe taking a break from the wedding planning and going back later is okay. I think that's normal. There are a lot of things you can do. I mean, there's only so much that you can control. So until everything gets lifted, then yeah, you can continue planning with your wedding planner.
And maybe we have more time to redesign the wedding or see any other inspiration.
Right.
Yeah. So, do you have or do you want to share some tips or suggestions to the couples who haven't actually taken a decision yet?
Like I said, for me, Italy has been a special place for me. My parents met there. They got married there. I was born there. Um, I still plan on getting married there, having my religious ceremony there. I think it's too soon to make a decision. I think you should really kind of weigh in uh, how you feel about still traveling. You know, I think at this point, everyone's just scared to travel. That's why it's hard to make a decision. Um, talk about it with your fiance. You know, that's communication is such an important part of being in a relationship that I think if you communicate well with your significant other, you know, you can decide together on what you really want to do. But again, I wouldn't make any um, decisions on just canceling the wedding. I would really look into still keeping it. So please have hope. I know a lot of brides are probably watching me and they're like, well, you know, Italy is still on lockdown. Our guests, because number one, they're going to say our guests are scared. No one wants to travel. I think you can wait it out, whether you push it out towards the end of the year or next year. I think you'll be totally fine. I think just making sure that you keep up with what's happening with COVID-19 and Haisa, and just, you know, taking it day by day. Don't make any drastic decisions. So
What
I feel
were
wrong. I know what they're going through, and I have my days. I have my days where I'm like I'm totally fine, and then I have my days where I'm just. The most important thing is you have your fiance that loves you and wants to be with you forever. So what more can you ask for right now, right?
absolutely. Well, we
Mm-hmm.
are as we all have our ups and downs, of course. So it's just normal to have meltdowns, and it's normal for the bride um, to find herself frustrated because, of course, I would be frustrated too because I've been dreaming for this wedding the whole year and having to postpone it. It's it's sad because you were excited. You were
No,
excited to.
it's, and I say this because I have been a little bit emotional, and I told myself I would not get emotional live on Instagram. And I, you know, I've shed tears. You know, my fiance and I have planned to start a family
Of
really soon.
course.
And I think a lot of brides are also probably in my shoes, figuring out, you know, this is delaying the process. This is delaying certain events in my life that I want to make it happen, but I can't. And it's true, you know. You look back and you're like, well, um, I was supposed to be at this point in my life, and you're like, you know what? It's okay because you will get it. You will get through together. It'll happen. Um, so I completely understand if the brides are, you know, anyone who is struggling to like trying to figure that out, whether they want to start a family as soon as possible. Um, but it's really up to you both. I think you just really need to discuss that together. I'm not gonna talk.
United, you're gonna make it.
Yes, definitely. I'm gonna have another, I don't know, glass of prosecco. How about that?
So, what are you gonna do on May 20th? Of
On May
course,
20th.
I always suggest my couples to treat themselves on the original date of their wedding. It's it's good for you to have some quality time and celebrate the non-wedding.
Okay. Um, you know, I asked him about that. I said, "What would you like to do?" You know, unfortunately, a lot of the places are locked down. Like, can't go anywhere. A lot of places are closed. So we can't do much. But who knows what will happen on that day? We'll definitely let you all know. It might be a little bit of a surprise. Oh, we do have a question. Engagement photos canceled, which were potentially save the date photos. Has pushed everything back with you in the uncertainty. You know what? I would still do engagement photos and use it as your save the dates. I would wait it out. I believe that's from Liz. Yeah, I would still do the engagement photos and use them as your save the dates. I did the exact same thing. You know, they Minted and a lot of other websites have chosen to do. They're called change the dates. If you had set a date, oh, the photographer canceled. Ciao. Well, that's unfortunate. Whether that photographer reschedules with you, hopefully you didn't make a deposit, or try to look for another photographer. But a lot of photographers should be, flexible with the bride and groom's schedules as well and when to do it. So
Yeah, because so if I understand right, it's the photographer that canceled your save the date photos. Oh, you're shooting, so you were supposed to have an engagement photo shooting. However, the photographer had to cancel it. Okay, yeah, of course, it's understandable, I think, because I don't know, actually, it's as Edna Lee said before, there are different rules and regulations concerning the lockdown and the quarantine in every state. So perhaps it's because they had to, they weren't able to work. But of course, I think it's just nice to wait for it. Maybe you're gonna have other new inspirations together with your photographer, or why not try to do some photo shooting with your cell phones, you two together, in just find some nook in your home, in a balcony, in a terrace. We have to use our creativity. So it could be a nice idea to just take a selfie and with some flowers or a nice background, or while you're having a prosecco, you can just
yeah, the
use those
photographer should.
pictures. Yeah.
I meant to tell everyone, if anyone has just joined us, Dashiell Palumbo, she is my wedding planner in Tuscany, Italy, um, more in the Siena area, in a place called Castelnuovo Beredenga. And not only is she my wedding planner, she's also, if you didn't know, she's also my cousin. And actually, I think you'd be more of my niece now, because your father and me are first cousins.
As
So
cousins. Yeah. So you're actually my auntie.
yeah, don't tell anyone that, okay? So
A beautiful auntie.
well, why, thank you. So tell me also, I'm just curious, and I'm sure I probably know, what inspired you to become a wedding planner?
You inspired me.
Is that right?
Yes, it is. You inspired me. Of course, before you came here, I was already working in the hotel industry for 10 years, and I've been an event coordinator, having to deal with weddings and events. So, Tita Edna Lee. Yeah, Tita Edna
I
Lee.
know, they're calling me auntie now. That's not okay.
So, when you came here, I wasn't a wedding planner yet. The things that we did together, the venue scouting, starting to plan everything, it just made me realize that that was my fate. That was my mission. It made me really happy. So I said, I want to try to open my business. So that's thanks to you. Majority of my inspiration is
Appreciate
because
that
of
we're
you,
part
you and
of
Jane.
this. Yeah, so I think for the brides who, I just want to let some of the brides know, or whoever is part of a wedding party, if you had sent invitations already, like I said earlier, there's something called change the dates.
Yeah,
That you
because
can.
this is something a lot of couples are struggling with, the fact that they already sent out the invitations and now what?
So I
So,
would suggest either contacting the company that you've ordered your invitations from and ask that you get them reprinted due to COVID-19. And most of the companies will either give you a discount or some type of credit towards your invitation so that way they can reprint them for you with a new date. Otherwise, honestly, I would just change the date cards.
I would say here in Italy, for example, the vendors that have offered the service of creating the invitations, these companies, they actually offer a free change the date graphic that you are able to send through social media or WhatsApp or email. So try to ask your vendors and suppliers if they do offer this kind of service, because we don't really have to paint them again, because basically it's nice to have a souvenir of the original wedding. So we're gonna all remember this year, the year of the postponed wedding, year of uncertainties, year of meltdowns, ups and downs. And I think it will make us stronger. So yes, I do believe that we have to just let the invitations we already had handed out and just send a digital change the date. That should be fine, really.
Yeah, digital or change the dates are fine. Either one is good. Yeah, especially.
How about the dress?
How
did you cope up with your dress?
I actually just received a email last week from Kinsey James that my dress is ready for pickup, and it arrived, and I was excited to hear from them because I've been waiting for this moment. And unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable going to pick it up just yet. I think once the state or the town is lifted, then I think I'll be more than happy to go ahead and pick it up. But I'm really excited. I've been waiting for this for a while.
I imagine.
Yeah, it was the one thing that I knew what I wanted, and I got it, and I found the perfect dress for me that is. And so my mom and I are gonna wait and go together and pick up the dress. So
yeah,
yes.
I think it's better to just see it once you are ready to wear it. I mean, a lot of things can change, so you don't actually know if you have to do the last fit for the dress. So it's just better not to see it. I am sure it's gonna be more beautiful to see it once it's gonna be the day of.
I know. How are your? I want to give a shout out to all the brides again, and or anyone who knows who's affected by this. That just keep going, be patient, and this too shall pass. And I just hope and pray everyone in Italy, your economy, gets back to normal eventually. So with us, just because it's rough. It's rough right now. And I hope you guys are all wearing masks because now it's all mandatory now to go into any store. So.
All right, Ednalie, thank you very much for the time you spent with me, and thank you for sharing your stories to the people out there. You would probably be an inspiration to other brides and other couples.
Yeah. Anyone, feel free to. My maid of honor just joined. Hi, Michelle.
Hi. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all there.
Yes. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions if I can. It's always nice to chat with someone who's in the same boat, especially if you're coming from the United States, just because there's just like Italy, there's a lot of uncertainty here. Every week is different. They sometimes lift the lockdown, and then sometimes they don't at all. So it's a change week to week on a weekly basis. So I encourage all of you to just be patient, and just be there for each other. Have patience with your fiance, especially during this time. It is going to be difficult. I have a ton of mood swings, and James is completely and I'm sure he does too. Aloha from Oahu. So, yeah. So thank you all for listening, and thank you for interviewing, and everyone who's been listening so far. Hopefully, we can do a follow up with this in the future.
Yes, of course. And we'll definitely get in touch for May 20th this year.
Okay. Sounds good. Everyone, you take care.
Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us. And here in Italy, I have to say good night. While there in the United States, have a nice day ahead. Actually, it's lunchtime already, so.
It's lunchtime here. Yes,
Yeah.
it sure is. Prosecco. Grazie.
This is my last toast before we close it.
Okay.
Cheers.
And cheers to everyone. Have a great day,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. Ciao.
Bye-bye.